Is this thing still on? Is this thing? I think I forgot how to use it. Hey everybody, it's Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser, where I go on a weekend cruise just about every weekend. And as you may or may have not noticed, I've been away for a little bit. So sometimes life comes very, very quick, and I've got to make different priorities or different schedules. So let me give you a quick update of where I've been, what I've kind of been up to, and where I'm going. So I'm really excited for an upcoming trip of mine that I really look forward to sharing with all of you. So first of all, my full-time job that I love had me in New York City twice already. And so that job is an amazing job. I will prioritize that above YouTube, unfortunately. Maybe one of these days, I'm going to be able to be a full-time YouTuber, but that is not currently the life that I live. And so I did need to go up to New York for 2 weeks with work, enjoy, and then able to come back down. But I didn't stay in Florida long because I then went up to North Carolina to celebrate with the family Thanksgiving. So you all know that I have a few dates that are already automatically blackout dates for my cruising. And one of those is Thanksgiving. I always spend about 2 weekends in North Carolina, give or take, celebrating with family. So mom's home cooking is always a crowd pleaser. My nephew's birthday is that same weekend. And my niece is putting together wonderful puzzles these days and catching up on my other nieces, the eldest nieces. Life is always a great time. And more importantly, the one thing that I am most excited about that I've done over the last month is I have moved. So as many of you know, I was living in Fort Lauderdale. I am now living down in Miami. So I have finally figured out how to bring that dream to life, where I can now live where I overlook the cruise port, which is a wonderful experience to me to be able to look out the window and see the cruise port. Funny story, maybe oversharing a little bit. I went to the restroom in the middle of the night this past week, and I looked out the window, did not see any cruise ships there. It was Friday morning. And I knew about what time it was because the ships had not started coming in yet. So I knew that I had a few more hours that I was going to be able to sleep. From this new place, I could even walk to Terminal G. So I've actually made this walk a lot of times. I'm over by Bayside Market in the downtown area. And back when we used to use Terminal G almost exclusively with Work Urban, pre-Terminal A, I would walk over to Bayside, have lunch if I was doing a back-to-back, and hang out there. It's not a bad walk. But Terminal G is so much closer than Terminal A. Terminal G and A, I feel like, are a mile apart. And the walking sidewalks aren't really great to get to Terminal A. So I've got to figure out what my strategy is going to be to get over to Terminal A. But I promise you it will not be me walking over there. I am also now on my initial Liberty of the Seas sailing. So I am here. I made it successfully to my first one. I took, probably about a month off from sailing, which is a lot for me. So I am super excited to be here. We've got tons of people from the royal family that is on board. And you all know that the royal family and myself are very accustomed to Freedom of the Seas. That is our home ship and where we normally wind up staying. And a lot of our conversations on this cruise have been, I say comparing Freedom of the Seas and Liberty of the Seas. They are two totally different ships. And so I'm going to be making another video exclusively on how those two ships are different and my initial thoughts or reactions to now being on board Liberty of the Seas after being on Freedom of the Seas for so long. And so as life comes very quickly, I am on Liberty of the Seas this weekend. Next weekend, I'm actually going to be flying down to South America to join my first celebrity sailing. And so I've heard from many of you that I'm just going to love celebrity. And you've seen some of my thoughts on the route I believe Royal Caribbean has taken by focusing in on families and parties of 4 or more. And so a lot of you think that I'm going to really like celebrity. So I am very excited to try out the Celebrity Infinity. I will be there for 12 nights. Now, I know that the Infinity is not their wow factor when it comes to celebrity. It is an older ship. It is probably a little bit less renovated than some of the other ones, but the itinerary here is going to be fantastic. So I'm going to be going to 3 brand new countries that I've never been to. So as much as I love a weekend cruise, my passion is truly exploring the world and seeing as much of it as I can. So I'm going to be starting out in Buenos Aires. We're going to sail down to Uruguay, and then we're going to come around Cape Horn and back up to Santiago, Chile. And so I could not be more excited for this 12-nighter. We're going to fly down a few days early, get to know Buenos Aires a little bit. We're going to stay a little bit longer in Santiago as well. But I am super excited to try out my first celebrity sailing and share that experience with all of you and see, is it really all the hype that everybody has told me? How much I'm going to love it? I'm kind of worried that it's, like that movie that everybody has said is so good, and then you get there and you go, it was all right. because the hype was so large. I really, really hope that Celebrity leads up to that. I also learned my lesson in the Mediterranean. So you all heard my video on lessons learned there. I have booked an excursion in every single port. Though I will say the Celebrity excursions are not cheap. For the two of us, we paid $1,850 for all of the excursions that we're going to be going on. Now, they're a little bit longer. Most of them are 6 to 8 hours, but I'm going to be booked up in every single port, seeing what it has to offer. Some places, hopefully, we'll have time to walk around and really experience the life of those ports. But I'm taking a lot of those lessons learned from the Mediterranean, because you all know I didn't really care for that. Some of it was totally on me. I'm going to be implementing those changes or those lessons learned in this sailing. So hopefully I can balance it out. Hopefully we didn't overdo it with too many excursions. But we do have some solid sea days because it is a 12-night voyage down in South America. Stay tuned for more great information and videos that are going to be coming. I'm hopefully going to be more in the swing these days, but definitely want to tell you about my experience here on Liberty of the Seas, in addition to what it's going to be like on my first celebrity ship, the Celebrity Infinity. All right, everybody, this is Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser. Hoping to see you on a weekend cruise soon.